Hello, it's Faith, and welcome back if you're not new, or if you're new, hello. I wanted to talk about something very specific in this video, and it was about to do with like dating as a Christian and like breaking up and all of that, and just dealing with those emotions and all of that, because it can really take a toll on you whether you're broken up or you've broken up with the person, right? And so, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this specifically. I've been really wanting to dive into more specific things and just how to like navigate those specific scenarios based on what I learned from God and from the good Christian leaders in my life, and just how God's wisdom has made things easier and less complicated, because that's who he is, right? Like he loves us so much and wants us to have his wisdom for our life. And so yeah. So my first dating experience was I was a junior in high school, and I really liked this guy, and we did end up dating. It was a weird situation because we ended up in the same classroom, and it was only us two at a table. And I'm like, is this even real? Like, what? Like, I'm not in a movie, right? Like, you know. But then I knew that he wasn't really a Christian, but I chose to date him anyways because of all the excitement that I felt. And I was basically choosing to follow my heart and not follow God. I was ignoring. Um, but here are some things that made this situation easier to handle, because I knew he wasn't a Christian, and then eventually I knew that I had to break up with him. Um, and I'm just gonna get all into that basically. So I felt prompted to break up with him because I was praying about it. I was praying, Lord, please help me to know whether he's really the right person, even though I really want to be with him. Like, because he made me feel pretty, he made me feel whatever and everything. And so finally, the Spirit guided me, and increasingly I felt kind of like urgent, like, oh my gosh, I need to break this off. I cannot keep dating and keep dating knowing this person, knowing that he's not a Christian and that I can't change him. Right? That's a thing, is like you can't change a person. Okay, you can plant the seeds, you can't change them. That's God's job. Um so I listened to that because here's the thing. It's hard to listen to that voice telling you to do the right thing in these kind of situations when you know that you should break up with a person. Because here's the mindset that I've learned you have to have: God needs to love you first. You need to have your worth in God like it's a lifeline. Okay. And I know I'm saying need a lot. You need to do this. But I'm saying this in love and in compassion. Like, please, 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 like, get yourself rooted in the love of God and the worth that He has for you, because we were meant to live in His validation and His worth before any of His creation could validate us. Okay. And by His creation, I mean other people, because the ground is level at the cross. And something that really helps me with dealing with people and stuff is remembering that none of us are above God. Okay. Make sure that you're not idolizing the person you're dating or something, because that's just going to get you more into an emotional mess. And we were created to worship, right? I was thinking about this today. And we weren't created to worship a person who God created just like us. We were supposed to worship God because he created us. And so if you have that priority right, then things will go better. They really will. Um, Another thing is, whenever I broke up with him, okay, I told him, "Hey, there will be someone else for you, okay? Like, please." And God loves you and he has a plan for you, because I knew that he really was holding on to me too. Like, Anyways, um, and I didn't expect him to be super heartbroken, honestly. I mean, yeah, my self-worth like wasn't the best or whatever, but I was like, I know that he'll still be upset. So just I encourage you to be gentle with the person when you break up with them, or even if they break up with you, like how you react and how you respond, whatever matters. Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be showing God's love, okay? The world might tell you if you break up with a guy, especially to the ladies out here, okay? Just be harsh. Just, you know, write them off. All that kind of stuff, right? Unless they did something super terrible to you. Well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have a proper breakup with them because you shouldn't even be around them or talking to them or whatnot, right? But I'm talking about like a more normal situation where when you break up with them, just be honest about why you're breaking up with them. Be honest. Don't make things complicated. Don't beat around the bush. Just tell them in a gentle way, like, why you're breaking up with them. And don't, you know, beat them down, right? Don't make them like, you can't control their feelings and how they're gonna feel when you break up with them. And you don't know exactly how you're gonna feel if you're being broken up with, but I encourage you to lean on God and to really, and if you're breaking up with someone, be gentle about it, right? And of course, if they fight back, don't want to let go and all that stuff, of course, be a little more, forceful, maybe just um step back from them. Just don't really, like there are times where you just shouldn't engage that much anymore, right? Because I've been through that kind of breakup too, where I broke up with this person and he just was so clingy and would just argue with me over text and stuff about why I broke up with him, even though I told him. I encourage you, if you get into that kind of situation, you know, at some point tell them to seek counsel from a person who is older or has, good advice, and don't try to be the counselor for them because they're talking to their problem basically when they talk to you. They, like you can think that you can help, but I would just leave it be and be like, "Hey man, you just need to get some counsel for this because it's clear that there's some issues deep down that are causing you to not respond to this in a more rational way." Right? Um, and so yeah, I haven't really been broken up with. I've just broken up. But either way, okay, it's hard. I'm not saying I have it easy. It's hard because it's like a roller coaster where like you're up here and then all of a sudden you have to like be single again. And it's like, you know, you're just like, "Oh my gosh, what? Like I don't want to be single." I want to stay here all the time, and not here. But I encourage you during that time to really lean on God and really lean into the benefits of your relationship with Him because He loves you so much and wants to fill that gap in your heart. And trust me, He gave us that gap for another person for sure. And it can be a struggle to be single when if we don't have the gift of singleness. But trust that He has the right person at the right time. Just have so much childlike faith in that He has such a good person for you if you're meant to marry. He does. And also, I I want to say that where was I going with this? Sorry. Um, don't follow your heart. That is an issue. If you follow your heart, the heart is the seat of your emotions. So then you are following your emotions. Do you know what emotions do? They are not stable. They are always doing this all the time, right? So I encourage you to lean on God's guidance based on who He is, on His word, in what to do in terms of a relationship, right? And which person to pursue or whatnot, right? Because He is the one who's going to be stable. He is that stable relationship in your life. He is the constant. People, they're, and you included, like, no, we're not. We we are not. So I encourage you, do not follow your heart when it comes to dating, because otherwise you're going to get yourself confused. And God is not a God of confusion. So listen to Him by getting to know Him better from His word and applying that, because He's going to be the stability in your life, and always he will always guide you in the right direction, right? So I just really wanted to encourage with that, and just encourage that you may really want that one person that you see that who seems so perfect, but they may not be the one, right? And eventually you'll break up or something, right? If they're not the one. And so I just encourage you, if you're in that situation where it's like, oh my gosh, like this person, I need this person to be the person. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay? Because I know some people who have been in that situation. I felt that before too. Okay? And here's how to go about that I've learned. God, if you're meant to be to marry and you're following God, He is going to make a way for the right person. The right person is someone who you are going to be attracted to, who you're going to be attracted to by their faith in God first and foremost, right? And everything like that. And you're just going to feel this peace with this person that goes on, because you're like, okay, yeah, like this is it. Um it's all in the moment. Stop fearing about the future of, like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna feel for another person again, and whatnot. You will, when it's the right person and everything. And so God's gonna make a way for the right person to enter your life, if you're following Him. He gives you the choice to follow Him or not. So if you're not, then I mean, you're gonna end up going a different direction against His will, and it's probably not going to end up good, because Him being a loving God, I mean, He could stop you in your tracks, but He's likely not going to, because we have our own free will, you know, right? But thankfully, He always leads us in the right direction. So yeah, I just wanted to encourage with that. And I know I didn't have specific Bible verses to go along with this or anything, but again, I just wanted to touch on this specific topic and really just lean into, like, the mind, talking about the right mindset with a specific topic to have, and all of that that makes things easier. And in terms of finding someone who, like, checks the boxes, listen, there's some Christians out there who are like, he needs to be near perfect. Okay? But then there are some Christians out there who are like, oh, if he just calls himself a Christian, then it's fine. But listen, there's a level ground here. There is a middle ground, is what I meant to say. There's a middle ground for this. Basically, if he shows the fruit by living his life and how he lives his life, how he speaks, how he carries himself, then he's probably actually following the Lord, right? But if you see that this guy's or girl's fruit is not showing that they're living their life for Christ, despite them saying they're a Christian and they love Jesus, then it's probably not right. Also, if you're having thoughts and doubts, even in the early stage of your relationship with someone, that where it's like, I don't think they're the one. I don't feel at peace with this, really. Like, you really like them and stuff, but then it's like, I don't know about this, and you're just kind of having this distress. I encourage you, pray about it, and then like if you just keep feeling that, break it off. Break it off because God has someone so much better for you. Your worth is so much more than that person that you think you need to be with, that who feels like they validate your worth so much. Okay? Because at the end of the day, God's like, "Hey, I have something better for you. I really have something better for you." So, yeah, I wanted to just talk about this because it's a great topic and it's fun to talk about, honestly. And I just really wanted to dump this information. In terms of finding the right guy with the right characteristics and stuff, I encourage you to not don't have expectations of perfection or even like, almost perfect. Don't. But also don't have your expectations so low to where it's like, oh, he calls himself a Christian and he only goes to church like once a month or whatever. So it's fine. He can probably be the one. No. Like if a guy is it has say he has trouble cussing or a girl has trouble cussing, right? But everything else shows that they really follow the Lord and really are surrendered to the Lord. Then and you feel that contentment of like, okay, you know, this could be the person or it's fine to keep dating them. Okay. As you're praying and listening to God, well then I would say that they're probably fine. Because here's the thing, you are both going to grow together. When you get married, you are going to keep changing. Get you are My pastor always said you get married to get holy. It's not always fun dealing with someone, right? Because your true selves pop out. Even if you thought you were really honest with yourself after you start living together, oh it you know, at least that's what I'm hearing in church, right? But I actually encourage you with that. That is not to be negative because God wants us to always change and to always become more like him because ultimately we're going to a better place than the Garden of Eden, but he's bringing us back to a place where it was like at the beginning. He wants us to live like it was at the beginning, close to him, right? Because he knows how good that is for us. And it gives him the glory. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that today. And thanks for anyone who tuned into this. And I will see you all later. Bye.